In today's video, I'm going to be painting one of the classic flowers of art history, the sunflower. They're really big and they take up a lot of space, and I'm going to try to pack two of them into a very small painting. I'm going to do it by really controlling the palette and having a very restricted palette. I'll show you how to balance a painting like this. Let's go. Like with all my paintings, I paint the background first. This is so I don't have to worry about edge so much later on. I'm going with my standard background color, which is black mixed with yellow ochre deep. This will give me a really nice dark brown. It's a very organic and non-intrusive color. Moving to the two sunflowers now. These sunflowers are going to be the stars of this painting. I want them to be very big, bold, and vibrant. I've gone with 3 different yellows. The first is yellow ochre deep. The next one, cadmium yellow. And after that, the very bright and very vibrant yellow lake. And for the middle parts of the sunflowers, I'm going with that same background color. That'll help tie the flowers in to the background. For the bowl, I'm using Gamblin's pink brown. Now the reason why I've chosen this color is because of its transparency. It's a very transparent brownish red. Now this will be perfect because I've already primed the canvas with black gesso, and a lot of that black will come through and really darken that brown up as it dries. For these little flowers between the sunflowers, I chose ultramarine blue. I wanted to get a color that was going to be just as vibrant, but also very different from the sunflowers. And I wanted a color that would tie in the color of the frog's legs that will come later on. Next I went with the Semper Augustus tulip. I wanted it to be part of the bouquet, but I didn't want it to compete with the sunflowers, so I wanted a pretty standard cadmium red and alizarin crimson, and of course white. Even though cadmium red and alizarin crimson are very different colors, when they're painted together as a stripe, the crimson will read like a shadow color. It's a pretty neat trick. With all of the major elements of the painting in place, the next step is to go through and fill in the little details of the smaller flowers and just try to balance the whole painting. So I'm bringing in a lot of that alizarin crimson on the other side and a little more red. I like hinting at little stories within my paintings. Here I've added a small orange and blue frog looking up at a bumblebee. Thanks for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe, and share for more painting.